AI image generation has completely changed the creative game. But with so many tools promising wonders, how do you know which ones actually work? Whether you're a content creator, designer, or simply someone who needs quality images, you've probably tried the obvious options like ChatGPT and Gemini, which are everywhere. They're easy to use and get the job done most of the time. But there's a new player that's causing a sensation. I'm talking about Flux Kontext. It's designed differently, works differently, and promises results that go beyond what we're used to seeing in AI tools. I'm going to show you how to access Flux using a completely free alternative, but with its limits. Let's get started.
Before we begin with our examples, we will first register on the OpenArt website. This is where we're going to use the Flux Kontext tool, which gives us 40 free credits. Be aware that these credits are for one-time use. Then we will sign in with our Google account. Once we are in, we will proceed to the Create section. And here we're going to click Upload Image. We're going to use this image from one of my previous projects, which is a cafe restaurant. So here, as we can see, you have the options to change the image format. Let's give it a horizontal format. And here we're going to tell it, in the model, we're going to change it to Flux Kontext, as we can see here. And in the prompt, we're going to tell it to add people to the image and make it look hyperrealistic. So here we have more options. As you can see, it has tons of options for editing the image. Here we also change it to generate only one image, because in this case it takes fewer credits from us. As you can see here, it says 5 credits per image, and we're going to generate it. It's super fast. In less than 20 seconds, we already have the result. Well, so here we have our result using this OpenArt platform with the Flux Kontext model. Now we're going to do the same thing in Google Gemini. We upload our image, the same image we already used, and give it the same prompt. Here in Google Gemini, it doesn't have the options to change the format or anything. It's simply as it is and makes a copy of the image. And here we have our result using the same prompt. Here, as you can see, the result is much better in Flux Kontext. It looks a bit like a video game, the people don't look real, and also it lowers down the resolution. Now we're going to test ChatGPT. With ChatGPT, we do the same thing, we upload our image. And here we give it the same prompt and click Generate. And here we have the result. Wow, this one is very good, but what I see is that it changes the format a bit. It doesn't look like the same aspect ratio that Flux Kontext gave us. So that's something to keep in mind when using ChatGPT here. Now let's move on to our second example, doing the opposite. We have a photo also from one of our projects, which is a coffee shop full of people. So we're going to tell it to do the opposite, to remove the people using the same prompt and make it consistent and hyper-realistic. So just like in the previous example, we're going to use our OpenArt platform first, and we're going to tell it to change the format to a horizontal format. And we're going to tell it to remove all the people in this picture. And we upload our image, and we're going to click Generate. And here's our result. As we can see, it's super consistent. The perspective of this fisheye style is maintained. It removed the people. As we said, the lighting is super consistent. The only problem I see is that it cut a piece of the image. I don't think it has this capability to make panoramic style images, but the result is super convincing. Now, let's do the same with Gemini using the same prompt. Here we have our result. As you can see, it kept the same panoramic format. It didn't crop it, but the resolution doesn't look very sharp, and it looks like a texture with smoothing. It looks super strange. The lighting was maintained, but you can see a kind of blurring, especially here in the chair area and the shadows. As you can see, the original image is not very clear, and it lowered the resolution a lot. Now we continue with our next platform, which is ChatGPT. We use the same prompt and we click Generate. Here we have our result. I think this result is the best of the three. But the problem is that, for example, the background of the image is not the same as the original image. It completely changed it. It's as if it were in another location. But the lighting remained the same, just like in Flux Kontext from OpenArt, it cut it. It doesn't maintain the same panoramic format. The chairs, the tables, it kind of regenerated the same concept. So it's not like it took the same photo and eliminated things from the photo, but rather it generates a new photo based on the original photo. So it's not the same thing. But, for example, the fisheye perspective, as I said before, it regenerates it. It's not that it takes it from the same photo, but the result is very impressive. Now let's continue with our last exercise, which is creating a professional profile photo. I have a video where we use a tool called Smart Headshots, which is not free, but has the best result I've seen so far in generating profile photos with AI tools. And it's the best tool I've found to this day for generating profile photos or headshots using AI. If you want to know more, you can click here and see the entire video at this link. Let's start our next sample with OpenArt platform. And like the other two exercises, we're going to upload an image. This time we are going to use this image of myself that was taken with my phone. It's not taken with any professional camera or anything. And we're going to tell it to create a professional photo of this person using the same characteristics, so it looks exactly like this person and looks in a kind of office background or in a creative office. And we're going to click Generate here. Just like the other two examples, we're going to say generate only one image so we have more credits left and can test the tool more. So here we click Send and this is our result. It looks like it was taken with a professional camera, and as you can see here, it changes the clothes. The face is exactly the same and changes the background, as we said, to look like a kind of office. Very impressive result. Now let's do the same with Gemini. The advantage of Gemini and ChatGPT is that we can upload several images at once. In this case, we're going to upload 4 images of myself to generate this profile photo. And here we're going to give it the same prompt we used in the other example, which is to tell it generate a professional profile image that shows the same person in an office environment. Here we have our result, which is not very convincing. It looks like some kind of mafioso. No, I'm not very convinced by this result. It looks like me, but obviously it's not me. Compared to the Flux Kontext example, this is a completely different person from me. So let's do another example here. We changed the prompt a bit because I think it didn't take it, as we said. Well, this example isn't either. It's like a bizarre version of me. But as you see, it doesn't change the background, and it's a photo like a document photo rather than a profile photo. Alright, now let's test ChatGPT and see how it performs. But here's where we run into our first limitation with ChatGPT. See this? It's not letting me upload all the images I want because we're using the free version. Now, if you have ChatGPT Plus, the paid subscription, you can upload way more images at once. But since we're testing the free options here, we're limited. This is definitely something you need to keep in mind when choosing your tool. So in this case, ChatGPT only allowed me to upload 2 profile images instead of the 4 I use with Gemini. But let's work with what we have. I'm giving it the exact same prompt. Create a professional photo that looks exactly like this person in an office environment. And let's hit generate. Okay, here's what ChatGPT came up with. Now look at this result carefully. ChatGPT did create an image, but honestly, it looks pretty artificial to me. Compare this to what Flux Kontext gave us. There's a huge difference in realism. The Flux version looked like it could have been shot with a professional camera. This ChatGPT version, it's got that telltale AI-generated look that immediately screams. This was made by artificial intelligence. The office environment is there. Sure, it followed the prompt in that regard. But when it comes to creating something that looks genuinely professional and realistic, Flux Kontext is clearly the winner here. Between all 3 tools we tested, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Flux Kontext, there's no contest. Flux Kontext takes the crown for professional headshot generation. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel. Activate the bell so you get notifications of the new videos I'll be making. And remember, the AI we're living in today is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. See you next time. Bye. Bye.